Hello. Hi, everyone. My name is Tack. Thank you for Pixels Camp to receiving Siemens as your partner in this event. And personally, I would like to thank you for this opportunity to share some of the knowledge that we are creating inside of Siemens. Okay? So this is the subject for today's presentation. So sentiment analytics, how business intelligence can identify the sentiment. So let's start. Okay. Okay. As I said, my name is Tack. I am a Qlikview developer inside Siemens. This project was built also with the help of Fernando Bartolo, Renato Souza, Miguel Batista, and André Ramos. This will be our content for this presentation. So we will have a small introduction, how it started on this project, the challenges that we faced along the way, the benefits and the vision for the project. The second point will be the implementation process, how working with SAP HANA and working with Qlikview. And finally, the sentiment analytics, the application. So we are going to demonstrate how it was built and how it is presently working this application. Okay. Introduction, how it started. So this project started with Siemens Hackathon in 2007. Okay, so the same way as Pixels Camp work. So they are trying to stimulate young people, young software developers to create something from scratch, something really new. And this is also a challenge that Siemens proposed to all the community, all the colleagues around the world at Siemens. So Ingenuity for Life was the subject. So we try to innovate something completely new from whatever, what was our ideas, they intend for us to create something exciting, okay? So we gather a small team in Portugal, so we start to brainstorm some ideas about, okay, what can we do related to software, can we invent something really new, or can we just follow the trend and copy something on the market? And we thought, okay, let's find something that is really important, not only for Siemens as a company, but all other companies. I will ask you a question if someone knows what is the most important thing in a company. Okay, so many people could say money, okay, but there are non-funding, non-profit companies, so it won't be money, but of course it will be people, okay? So people will be really the real asset for each company. And so we started to identify that, okay, we have people as our main target, so let's think how we can, what we can give, but related to people, okay? So, and we had also one other question regarding the Ingenuity for Life, that is the label for Siemens. So innovation and be professional. Okay, so this is one thing that we aim as a target. Okay, so the third step was, okay, the challenges. So what are our challenges? And so as you all are working now, we also have some challenges that we, after brainstorming, okay, we want to do this, but how? Okay, so we start, okay, people. So we wanted, the first thing that comes into our mind was social media. So because social media has the opinions of people, bad opinions, good opinions, but have opinions. And so we found that probably this would be the place where we could fetch this data, okay? And so, but in social media we have internal social media and external social media. External social media, it's known as Facebook, as Twitter, okay? And for our case at Siemens, we have our social networks, okay? Our own social networks, where all the colleagues can add comments and talk about anything or simply give some kind of news, yeah? And so another topic was empower data with geographical view. So for us, okay, we may create something new, but it has to be exciting. So it's not only creating for us, but it's also to expose something for the people who are going to evaluate our project. So it has to be something very flashy, very eye candy. So we thought about creating a kind of geographical thing where we see the world, the countries, something like that. Okay, and we asked Siri. Okay, Siri, what's the cool things about geographical maps? And Siri just says, repeat your questions. So we went to the same place as we always go. We went to Google and we started to search some fine images. Okay. And the other decision that we had to make was, okay, what business intelligence tools can we use? Okay, so at Siemens we have our business intelligence team, and we have a lot of expertise. So our people are just project managers. Some people work with software development. Some work with databases. Some work as a data analyst. So we have our resources, human resources, the most important people, and we thought, okay, let's just think on the project, and we will get the people, because we have the knowledge here in Portugal. Okay, so the business intelligence tools, we have to decide which one we are going to use. Good. Okay, so the first step was, okay, benefits and vision. So we had to imagine ourselves what was the target with this project. Okay, so at the final end, we wanted to understand the sentiment inside Siemens and outside Siemens. Okay, of course, outside Siemens would be more difficult, but at least we target our vision to that possibility. Maybe we couldn't, maybe we can, maybe we cannot achieve that vision, but at least we had. Okay, and that is important when you construct your own project. Okay, so. Facing our challenges, extract social media messages. Okay, and this was a really challenge. So we had, because we were participating in a hackathon. So hackathon means that you have to hack something. Okay, so you have to figure out a strange way to just dig on the data, extract that one, steal it or not, it doesn't matter. We just pull the data and we are going to work on that data. And so we had this SocialCast portal. So SocialCast portal, it's a kind of social media, but for the companies, where the employees can add, as I said before, communicate, inform, share ideas, put some questionnaires. So everything can happen there, and people just like or simply comment or make a question, and the community will answer. So it's a quite simple way to have a working place for all the colleagues. And also we had Facebook. So with Facebook, we had André try to dig into API from Facebook, and we tried to collect some data related to Siemens Facebook page. Okay, but that was a test approach. If we could do that, we could reach that goal. Okay. Oh, so. The second point was empower data with geographical view. As I said before, we went to Google and tried to find some sexy images to our application. Okay, we found some good ideas. So not all. Sometimes the good ideas someone already had them. So we just need to put our own vision into that. Okay, so the business intelligence tools to be used. Okay, so. For those who are not familiar with what really is business intelligence, there is, for me at least, I normally say that business intelligence is divided into two different stages. So we have the data mining, okay, where we dig the data and try to discover something new. And also we have the kind of reporting. And the reporting, you normally expose something and demonstrate something, and the decision makers will use our tools to decide, okay, my growth my revenues are growing, so I have to do this, or my growth are reducing, and they have to make their own decisions. But to create these business intelligence tools, we have to decide which one they were. Okay, so extract the data once again from SocialCast and Facebook. And we wanted to use also SAP HANA database. As for those who don't know, SAP HANA It's a kind of a database, but they work in memory. Okay, so every data, it's not, or of course it's saved on tables, but they also work in memory. So it's really fast. So we wanted to use this new technology because it will spread across all SAP clients, and they had this kind of text analysis. It was something that we dig into the community from SAP, and we didn't find any good references. So we wanted to try this, but here in our own project, okay? Because this was the tool that we wanted to use to measure the sentiment. So because don't forget, this works as a possibility to evaluate the sentiment, and it's a very difficult task to do, but this was our proposal. Okay, so after SAP HANA database, we choose the Qlikview as a reporting tool. So it would be the place where we would construct our data model, and we would expose this into the user interface application for anyone to use. Okay, so and it was the place where we would tell this story. Okay, but because at the end, when you construct one application, and if it's an application for the front end, don't forget this is a storytelling. You have to conduct the user to what is their own needs. Okay, so for us it's more about storytelling, and so we would use this application. Okay, so the benefits, okay, it was a social media management tool. So this was our goal, to construct a social media management tool. Oh, very exciting name. We wanted to analyze the sentiment on messages, likes, posts. Okay, so this was a big deal. And our vision, as I said, integrate internal, external social media platforms. Okay, understand the social sentiment from our colleagues, customers, and competitors. Okay, not all of those points would happen at the same time. Okay, because as you know, this was a hackathon, so it was just a 2 or 3 days challenge. So we couldn't do all of that in just those 2 or 3 days. So although we thought, okay, we would start with something small, but we would vision something big, and something big would be had in one single application the social sentiment about colleagues, customers, and competitors. Okay? And also, as obviously, grow social media presence across the world. So, okay, I will just demonstrate at the final stage when we just organize our ideas to start this hackathon. We build a small video to explain our thoughts in images. So this is what we get from this project. Okay, so talking about the implementation process. Along the way, when the hackathon, Siemens hackathon ended, we didn't won. Okay, we didn't won because the winner was decided with votes. So we are in a small country, so Portugal. So as you can imagine, we didn't have so many friends to put a like on our project. But nevertheless, the project was so exciting that the people inside Siemens look at that project and said, okay, we like this. And we want to be present in the social media. We want to evaluate our presence, and we would like to know the sentiment of our colleagues and the companies around us, what they feel about Siemens. And just they reach us, contact us, and say, okay, we want to grab your project, and we want to give some money to the project and make it real, make it a productive application. So this is what you are doing right now at this event. So you are trying the basis to construct something new, and although you cannot, everyone cannot win, but some of the projects that will not be the winners will also have called their attention for our companies that are here on this event, and maybe they will reach you, contact you, and make your project real. Okay, so this is really important. And so our implementation process was extract social network data, okay, using the official API and some scripting. Okay, so this was the part of the ACK. Transform and load onto SAP HANA data lake. And then the third step was data is processed using text analysis techniques. So this is what that part of SAP HANA that could identify for each word if the sentiment was good or bad, or it was just asking for information, asking for help. So this was the key to our project. Add geographical and organizational information. So we had this the data from SCD. This is our internal platform where we have all the colleagues around the world. So we have my ID is identified on that database, and he's saying, okay, I'm in Portugal. So this is one information that I would like to connect to our project. So whenever I put a comment on our portal, I would know this information is coming from Portugal. Okay, so this is also very important. And we had the Qlikview to aggregate the measures, the calculations into the data model. Okay? And Qlikview, once again, as a user web interface. Okay? This is important to explain to you, okay, how the text analytics works at SAP HANA database. Okay? SAP provides this text analysis engine. And so basically what it does is he reads each word on a sentence, okay, and he will give a meaning to this word, okay. If it's good, it's bad, he will determine if it's a good sentiment or a bad sentiment, okay. And this is currently it's in 2 languages, in English and obviously because SAP is German, and in German. But I think they will add in the future more languages, like one of the most important one, Chinese and Portuguese. Why not? So those languages will also will be added in the future, but currently it's just German and English. Okay, so all those words are identified as tokens, and one problem that we had was, okay, we have this word saying, okay, positive, negative, strong negative, strong positive, and we had to identify the scale between -2 and 2 to give this a grade. And so we could identify if all sentences was strong positive, strong negative, by making an average. This was just a simple way to determine if the sentiment on these sentences was good or bad. So most of the times we don't need to invent something completely out of the box. Sometimes the answer is really simple. Okay, in this case was really simple. Okay, so here we have one example. Okay, let me get. You see the word. We have 3 sentences completely different, and we have this word "good," and you can see this one "good." It's a good sentiment on this word because it's good. But if you notice here, the text analysis on SAP HANA will say this good, it's bad because it's it has a not before the word. So it will give the sentiment as a no-go, okay? And we have this really good. So this will be a positive, but it will be a strong positive, okay? So this was the tool that we found out that this was useful for our application, okay? Okay. Once again, the sentiment for the comments and the messages is an average of identified tokens. Let me say, I didn't explain the comments and the message. So basically, when you write something on the Facebook, you are writing a post. Okay, it's a normal post. So we would consider that a message. And then if someone just follow your message and tries to talk to you, that will behave as a comment. Okay. This is just to identify each of the comments and message. Okay, so the storytelling in Qlikview. Okay, so this is just to remind us that what we need to follow. Okay, so we have social media, and then we pull the data into the SAP HANA text analytics, and then we would construct the data model, get together the geographical data that we had of our collaborators across the world, and we have this user interface in Qlikview. Okay, and as you already noticed, at the beginning I was talking about Facebook and the Twitter because that was our challenge. Okay, we want to also add external sources, but to get the project done, okay, immediately, okay, we will work with the data to be more reliable, and it was the data that was in our disposal, so it was our internal data. But in the future, we might add also external sources as Facebook and Twitter. Okay, so I will start the demonstration. So this is the nicest part from the presentation. Demonstration on the Qlikview side. Okay, so so this is our application, and this is where we put all the codings. And the only thing that I could show you here. That Fernando Bartol probably would say, hey, Elder, you once again are boring people. But this is the place where I do this kind of presentation. So as you can see here, we have our data model. And for those who work with business intelligence or databases, you know that one of the most important pieces in one application is how data is organized. Okay, so because we are working with business intelligence, we are not working with relational databases. We are talking about dimension databases. So what we get from here, we have a fact table where we just save all the data that it's recording on the systems, okay? And then we have our dimensions, data, messages, tags, the users, and the countries with the maps, okay? And we have also these groups. The groups were groups that were in our social media from Socialcast. So they can create a group like Pixels Camp, okay? And everyone would comment about Pixels Camp, what do you think about it, and give their opinion. So it's a group, okay? We have also some groups from every kind of opinion makers that you can imagine. So this is where we put the data available, okay? So this is just to show you the data model that we have constructed along the way, okay? Okay, in the application, let's see if I can refresh it, okay? This is the front end. This is a web application that can be used on a web interface. So it can be on your browser. It can be used on your tablet, your cell phone in the future. So it's something very flexible, okay? So we are using this, in this particular case, as a web application in a browser, okay? So I will enter. Sorry guys, I won't have to walk here, but I will stay here behind the screen. Okay, so this is the front end. As I was saying previously, when you construct a front-end application, one of the things that are really important is the storytelling. Okay, so when you imagine an application, you need to understand what are the client's needs, and you have to think on their own position, and you say, okay, if I want to know some data, I won't just pull one record and say, okay, this is positive or this is negative. Okay, you have to conduct the user into the application to, at the end, he will know all the story and how it was told. Okay, so we start with this. Sorry, I will just refresh the board. Okay. And, okay. What do we have here? On this left side, we have our groups. Okay, so those are the groups that we collected the data. So we have communications, community, corporate news. This is all inside Siemens. And we have the countings of the messages, the comments, and the number of likes that each comment, each message or related community had. And the engagement. The engagement, it's nothing more than the sum of the likes, the comments, the messages. Basically, it's the buzz that community creates. Yeah? And so we could easily filter all the data, because remember, I showed you before, we had this dimension data where we can filter the data basically clicking on the button. So if I want to see all this data related to the last 3 months, I just click here. If I want 6 months, I will click here. Okay. If I want just the comments, okay. And if I want just the good or the happier thoughts or happier feelings about something, I just click on the smiley. Okay, and I will get all this. The positive sentiments across all these groups and how they place themselves. Okay, once again, we have these dimensions working as a country. We have the dimensions changing it. I will change this dimension, and we can switch this into continents. Okay, so this can be also possible. We have the likes evolutions across days, weeks, and you can see this is just dragging and drop, clicking, and this information will be at our disposal. Okay? If I want to reset, just click here, and it will reset. You may ask, this is empty. Yeah, it shouldn't be empty. So in this presentation, we have on this table here, it was the world map, but for some reason it's not being shown here. Maybe it's firewalls or something. It's not working, but what the hell? This is a pixel scam, so it's normal. We also have this important thing here. Okay, if you can see it here. Wait. Okay, so we have also the tags. Okay, so when you tweet, or if someone uses tweet, you normally put the hashtags and you say something, okay, Ingenuity for Life, or good, it's bad, pixel scam. And so we also have this on our platform. Okay, so people can also add comments and hashtags into their messages, and so we gather this data and we saved it. Okay, and so here it's really easy. If we want to just, okay, let me see what are the buzz tags across all our social media. Okay, and those are the ones who are going to be present. Okay, digitalization. So this is really nice. So it means that here 111 users from SSN are talking about it. Okay, in 26 countries there are people talking about this information. So they send 33 messages, 134 comments. So this is really a buzzword. Okay, and if I just unlimit our application, I can see really the number of users who are interacting on our social media. So this is important. This is one of the target groups that we might use, okay, to inform people, to spread the word. So this is for us a very important tool. So 75 countries where people working at Siemens are commenting, are adding something, are just changing opinions. So it's a great place where we can see analytical data. Okay, but once again, this was the overview. So we can now start to dig into the information. So we started with the overview, where we have the highlighted numbers and everything, and now we are going to scroll into the data and find the sentiment. Okay, and finding the sentiment, sometimes it's difficult, sometimes it's not, but we wanted to put numbers in sentiment. Okay, so what we have here, we have a kind of histogram where monthly we can see how people are reacting. Okay, if I want to just filter some social media social group, okay, let me filter here for corporate news just by a click. Okay, I will know that the sentiment across the last 6 months, okay, it was growing sometimes was downside, but I can see that what people are reacting. In this case was negative, so 6% on July, people were not too happy about something, okay? And maybe this can be studied by the people who are working at corporate news, and they will see, okay, there's something here, okay, let's see what people are not also so happy about it. So let us correct this and be proactive. So most of the time, nowadays, the time runs really fast. So the decision making cannot wait 3 months to decide something. They have to have the information right away, and they have to make their own decisions at the moment. So this is one place where we can find, okay, there's something not so good here. I can see the sentiment evolution all across the month. Okay. Sentiment distribution. Okay, but even this, okay, having people associated to the countries, even this can see, okay, maybe this is just a global problem and everyone is happy across the world, or maybe it's a country in particular. So even that we can see the positive sentiments, which are the countries with happier or with good feelings related to the subjects. So once again, I can see this information. So if I want to sentiment by continent, I will see that Norway, it's a happy persons all across Norway. Okay, but if I see here and I filter, okay, it's only 4 users. Only 4 users, but nevertheless, 4 users, 1 user, they are all important. Okay. So this is a sentiment analysis of the sentiment. But when we start to dig into the groups, okay, now we are going to storytelling about the groups. Now we need to choose one group here. Okay, let's select the same group. Corporate news, enter, and here I wanted to analyze how my group is reacting. Imagine that you created a group on Pixels Camp. I want to see right away what is happening on this group. People are talking good, about the internet, it's good or it's bad. And this is the kind of information that I can immediately have on a dashboard. Okay, I will say, okay, 59% of the people about this group, they have good feelings. Okay, 4% are not so good. Okay, maybe I can analyze deeper into this 4% and find out what they are not so happy about it, and we could avoid and benchmark the knowledge of correcting that and apply it to the other colleagues. Okay, so in this group we have almost more than 1,000 users. Okay, they also share this information. So imagine that you are in Facebook and you share one puppy cat or puppy dog, and you share it in another page. So even that data we collect it, okay, and we can see how many shares are made on our social media, okay. And one of the things that are also important in analyzing the messages and the posts, it's the message lifetime, okay. So as you can see it over here, the message lifetimes in days. So when I create or I put an information on a message, I want to see if people immediately just comment, Okay, or how many days do they comment my message? So here we have, for this particular group, corporate news, that the average on the message lifetime is 15 days. So it means if I do a message every once a month, that means that with 2 weeks I won't get any feedbacks from the user. So maybe I should reschedule my message and put them twice a month, at least twice a month. Okay, I have the number of likes on my messages and the number of comments. Okay, and once again I have on this left side. Wait, sorry. This left side. Okay, I have here the hashtags. Hashtags that are mostly there are more used on this group. So even here I can see what the use of hashtags it's important. Okay, one or other things that we are going to develop, it's automatic tags. Okay, so the normal, when the user has the initiative, they can create hashtags, pixel stamp. But imagine that the application itself will learn from the previous data, and it will know when someone is writing about pixel stamp, although it didn't hashtag pixel stamp, the application itself will go learn with the data that was saved and will create auto tags. Okay, so the one message without tags can still appear here because the application learned about it. Okay, so once again we have the sentiment about each tag. So as you can see, because we have constructed a data model with several dimensions, we can just switch the data on the fact table, and we can see it by country, by date, by hashtags, because all of this information it's inside of our application. Okay, and even here we have this kind of search bar where we can simply find something on the application. Let's see. Okay, Ingenuity for Life. Okay, so this is our first label. Okay, let me select here a group. Sorry. Corporate news. Okay, and even this search bar, we can search for hashtags across all the application and find out what's about these hashtags. Okay, so once again, I can even go deeper into our application, into the data, and one of the questions that pulled to us and for our new customer was, okay, but you have created that extraordinary formula about the text analytics, but one thing it's you're saying it that it works. The other thing is I will need to know for sure, is it the text analytics working? Okay, and so this was something that we saw it as a challenge, and we simply created something here. Let me enter. Okay, and I will put here something about Ingenuity for Life. Okay, so I searched for Ingenuity for Life, our main word, and what's happening here, I can see. Okay, what are the feelings about our colleagues? Okay, 66% things are really good. 32% that doesn't have a good or bad impression, and 1% it's okay, not so happy about it. Okay, and we can see across several weeks how this sentiment is growing. It's having some growth and bad feelings. But if we select one information here, okay, let me see if I can find something. Okay, let me see. Okay, I will find this one. Okay, so in terms of engagement, this messages here, this message here, have an engagement of 24. That means he has from the sum of likes, the sum of comments, the sum of messages, altogether they represent a buzz of 24. So it's a kind of message that was comment for with several people, and the sentiment were mainly positive. Okay, and if we can, if we want to dig into this application, let me see if this one, the API, it's working. Okay, so this one is working. Okay, so as you can see, if I want to analyze each of the sentences, okay, each of the sentences, you will see that he is highlighting the ones who he says it's good, it's favorite, it's good, and they have different colors. Why? Because if I put my mouse here, it will say, okay, it's a strong positive sentiment. Okay, so it will put this as a very bright, very bright green. And if it's just a weak positive sentiment, good, okay, it will highlight it. So even the icons, okay, now the smileys are really fashion. Everyone can talk long conversation in your text on your cell phone without having to write a letter. So it's it's really funny. But the application, the text analytics on SAP HANA, can also identify the icons. Okay, so it will say that this icon, for example, it's a happy feeling. So it's a weak. Oh no, this one it's a weak negative emo icon. Okay, so even this one. So you can see it's weak positive, and we have some that are neutral, basically because they don't have any good or bad feelings, or simply if they have a good and bad, they will the sum will be the average, so the sum will be 0. Okay, remember that. Okay, so this is how we saw the challenge of demonstrating really how the application works. So as you notice, the storytelling was about seeing the big numbers, digging to the data, and finally even go to the simple word and say this word represents good feeling or not so good feeling. Okay, so negative feeling. Okay, on these two tables, on these two tabs here, we are starting to develop. We are moving forward and develop the new step ahead. Okay, so there are two major steps that we are trying to reach out. So one is to add the external sources like Facebook and Twitter and other sources that they may come up, and also predict something. Okay, and when we say predict, it's basically when you are a company, we are a corporate. When you want to spread some kind of buzz, some kind of news, we are launching a new product. You have to know from the experience of this kind of applications to see, okay, how do I write my news into all over the world? It should be a short messages, big messages. When should I put the message available? At the end of the month, at the beginning of the month? Why? Because studying this kind of application, they can decide which is the best. So even the application, we want to in the future the application to see, okay, I want to write something, okay, I will pre-write something, and the application will evaluate this text and say, okay, this application will have a lifetime about 3 weeks. This application, the target will only be in Europe. This kind of message will have impact globally. So we will have a positive sentiment, a negative sentiment. So this is a prediction that we want this application to learn and to even grow up. Okay? So. Okay. So this was my presentation. So I would like to schedule this time to questions and answers. Let me just say that we have 3 very beautiful T-shirts to offer for those of you who asked the first question. So I have one for girl and one for man. So I reserve this time to the questions. Don't ask me about how to be a millionaire, okay? So this kind of questions. Sure.
This application going to be free, or going to be open to the public, or going to be internal for Siemens?
Okay. At this precise moment, the application will be just internal. Okay, so because we have internal data and we cannot expose the information that is created inside of our company and expose it to the rest of the community. Okay, it's something that the main deciding people just won't allow. Okay, so this is one data that is only internal. Oh, the free T-shirt. So I would say that this is the one. Okay. Okay. Okay, so I would like to thank you once again to this opportunity to share some knowledge about the work that it's being done inside of Siemens. Just to thank my colleagues from this team and the rest of the colleagues here at Lisbon, that we are growing fast at Siemens as a team and as a base for the knowledge. So don't forget to grab this kind of opportunity as Pixel's camp is sharing with us, because your projects may come to life. Okay, so it's very important to keep up. When I read a book called "Who Moved My Cheese," and it was about two mice that were searching they were just grabbing the cheese from the same place, and most of the time the people who are going to be successful are not the ones who are going to catch the cheese on the same spot. So I see myself as you some years ago, and I move. Okay, so I search my own cheese. So this is what the message I would like to say to you: search your own cheese. Thank you.